Are you looking to refresh your home for the spring? Well, look no further because I'm bringing you the hottest interior design and home decor trends for spring and summer 2025. My name's Carrie, a designer here at Penny Modern, and we're going to be going over everything from the best patterns to use, as well as the top furniture styles that we're seeing coming in 2025. And if you stay until the end, we're going to bring you the hottest and best colors to use for your spring home refresh. So don't miss that. Up first, we're going to be talking about the best and brightest patterns to be using this year. The spring of 2025 is going to be moving away from very rigid lines and very severe geometric and bold shapes, and we're going to be tending towards more organic and fluid patterns. These free-flowing and organic patterns are going to be adding a lot of movement as well as personality to spaces. You could incorporate these trends by using a wallpaper. I prefer the peel and stick varieties, so you can change it up, that are almost like a wavy and maybe even a hand-painted quality to them, even though they're not actually hand-painted. We're also seeing some very interesting rugs and textiles with a swirling watercolor-like pattern. We're also seeing some very fluid shapes in terms of artwork, maybe a sculpture or a vase, and that way you can get some of these rounded, fluid patterns and shapes into your home decor. Oh, and if you're new around here, my name's Carrie. I am a self-taught interior designer, as well as founder of the blog Penny Modern, and we've been bringing you affordable modern home decor since 2019, so hit subscribe if that's your cup of tea. Next up, we have a way to reuse and refresh older furniture in fresh and stylish ways, and that's a retro revival that we're starting to see here in 2025. A lot of people are mixing vintage or vintage inspired pieces along with new, more modern shapes for a very bold and collected and nostalgic feel to their home. You can use vintage pieces or maybe even give one of your existing pieces a new finish by painting it or adding a new stain to it. You can get some amazing vintage lamps at places like antique stores as well as thrift stores. You can also embrace some 70s inspired patterns with a lot of those color palettes from the 70s with a lot of those bolder earth tone colors. And then you can get some ceramic art pieces, and also you can refurbish antique or vintage furniture or just even furniture that you find at a thrift store or on Facebook Marketplace. There's some amazing ways to refinish furniture with chalk paint, or there's also a paint called Retique It that gives a fake wood finish to paint. If you love vintage pieces and adding them to your home, let me know down in the comments below where you like to get vintage or slightly used pieces for your home. I'd love to know. Next up, it's all about using your fifth wall to make a statement. And that fifth wall is actually your ceiling. You can actually use wallpaper to transform your ceiling into a very bold and eye-catching design statement. Ceilings are often overlooked and an underrated wall of your design in your room, and you can really add a lot of texture and color and visual interest to your ceiling if you decide to decorate it with wallpaper. Using wallpaper on your ceiling can really create a lot of depth and give it a high-end look if you choose the right wallpaper. Some of the ones you might want to explore are botanical or nature-inspired prints for a very fresh, airy feel, and also to embrace the outdoors. You also can use a design that adds a little bit of texture. So maybe it is more muted colors and it has a pattern to it, and that is going to help add just a little bit of depth and texture to your ceiling, but it's not gonna make this huge, crazy statement in a dark color. You also can use some very neutral colored wallpapers on your ceiling. Again, some of those botanical prints, and that way it'll add a lot of visual interest and it could create a very amazing moment in your room. And this next one is actually in the great outdoors, and that trend of bringing the outside in or having that outside living room or outside living space is definitely in style this spring, and it's really creating a very high-end and elevated look to your outdoor space. People are really trying to make the most of their patio space by creating a very functional but also beautiful aesthetic out there and making it almost look like another living room or living space, and having a rug, furniture, outdoor kitchens. So they're really going all out this spring with their outdoor spaces. People are definitely embracing this by adding outdoor rugs, getting very stylish, high-end furniture that has very durable fabrics on it. Sunbrella is one of the most famous ones, but there's all different brands out there. You also can add some interesting lighting elements like a very cool pendant light, maybe a coastal theme or something with rattan. And you also can get things like a sun-powered or solar-powered lights. Up next, the trend that we continue to see is soft curved furniture, and that is going to add a sense of comfort as well as relaxation to your space. These curved furniture pieces definitely create a warm and cozy space that's really going to contrast with these sharp edges that we've seen in the past. When you use the opposite, so these curvy shapes, it's going to make your brain relax and feel more cozy and inviting, and that it wants to stay a while. How can you incorporate these curved shaped furnitures? You can use a curved sofa, you can use curved or barrel shaped chairs like I have here. You also can do a wavy coffee table or a wavy edge mirror. You also can get smaller items like round lamps. You can get round vases, round or curvy sculptures, and you also can get things like an arched mirror or a circular mirror. If you love the curves that you see in furniture this year, make sure you hit that like button so it lets me know. Now here are the hottest colors to embrace for this spring and summer. But first, if you are interested in affordable modern home decor, but on a budget that you can actually work with and that fits your budget, make sure you hit subscribe, because that's what we're all about here at Penny Modern. The first trendy color for spring and summer is actually all different colors of green. So you can expect all shades of green, from a very dark hunter green to a chartreuse or a lighter green. And this is according to Sarah Storms of Styled by Storms. And whether it's just a pop of color or color drenching an entire room, green is definitely here to stay, and it's actually giving the color blue a run for its money. And blue is also definitely trending for spring and summer this year. The next color that's trendy and hot is actually lilac. So this was once reserved for nurseries, but lilac is making a comeback as a very fresh and elegant accent in all kinds of spaces. It's showing up everywhere, says Jean Barber of Camden Grace Interiors. She says we're seeing lilac in a ton of different spaces where lilac accents are adding a little bit of a pop. You could use it in a footstool, you could use it as throw pillows or even curtains. But you don't have to use just a pastel color like lilacs. There also are a lot of different more saturated colors that are on trend for the spring and summer. So one of them is a very deep burgundy and also a warm terracotta. And if you do love that lilac trend, you could do some very interesting pairings, such as pairing a lavender or lilac with an apricot or peach color. You could embrace some of these colors by doing a furniture flip or a little bit of a furniture makeover, and maybe painting a bookcase or maybe just the inside of a bookcase or an end table in one of these awesome colors. You also can add throw pillows, curtains, and rugs, as well as artwork to add some more subtle hints of color to your space. And then you can also mix some of these colors with neutrals or even metallics for a very trendy but also timeless look. You'd like even more interior design trends on what's hot and what's not this year, make sure you watch this next video right here, which is all about the latest and greatest interior design trends for 2025. And I'll see you in the next video.